Good morning. Today we are going to continue the previous topic, that is person and the personality. Okay. We have in the previous lecture we have seen what is person, what are the types of person, that is natural person and legal person. And what is a person or who is a person? Any entity, as per jurisprudence, any entity who is having rights and duties can be called as a person. Now we are going to see the legal status of certain entities. First we are going to start with legal status of unborn person, that is a child in womb. A child in mother's womb is by fiction treated as already born and he is having certain rights. Okay. Now but these rights which are given to him are conditional. Means the rights which are conferred on unborn children, however, they are contingent upon his taking birth alive. When they take birth, they get the vested right. Okay. Now what is the status of an unborn? In previous IPC and now in Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, we are having provisions. If any person does anything because of which the child dies in the womb itself, that is an offence. Injury to child in womb is a punishable offence. Doing something which prevents safe delivery of the child, that is also an offence. Complete chapter, you can say many sections are there in BNH which tell about miscarriage, illegal miscarriage, and they are made punishable. Okay. Now in transfer of property also it is mentioned that you can gift some property, you can transfer some property to an unborn, but not directly. You have to create a life interest. So here also some contingent right is there. If the child takes birth, he gets the vested right. Okay. So child in womb is having certain rights, but conditional that he has to take birth. In torts, we have seen one case, Walker versus Great Northern Railway Company. What had happened? A pregnant woman was in a train and an accident occurred, and because of that she gave birth to a deformed child. Thereafter the deformed child, the infant child, that filed a case against the railway company, Walker versus Great Northern Railway Company, and he claimed damages, he claimed compensation for the wrongs which were done by the railway company, that is accident, because of which he was born deformed. But in this case the court denied his rights because he was claiming rights when he was in the womb. He was claiming compensation for those injuries which took place when he was not there. Therefore his case was dismissed. The court denied damages to an infant child who claimed damages against the railway company for the injuries before the birth. But 2 years later, similar type of case was filed in Canada. Montreal Tramways Company versus Levely. Okay. Now in this case, same thing, same facts were there. The infant who was now deformed born, he had filed a case for getting compensation. In this case, court has held that the railway accident has occurred. The child has born deformed only because of those injuries which have occurred to the mother. So this is a technical point, that whether the mother comes or the child comes, you have to ignore it. You have to give justice to that child, and they have given the compensation. Okay. This case is properly decided. See, Montreal Tramway Company versus Levely. Claim was made by a female infant against the tramway company for deformity caused when she was in mother's womb, and the court has given compensation. So this is rightly decided case. The child in womb is having certain rights. Okay. Now if a woman is pregnant and she has done some offense and all, and she has been given death penalty, then in law we are having provisions that her death penalty will be condoned. You can say it will be commuted to life imprisonment. Why this is done? Because the child in womb is having a right to life. Okay. Means death penalty can be condoned of the expectant woman. We are having the provisions in Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Okay. Now this is the legal status of an unborn person. In certain matters we consider the unborn person as as a living. That unborn child is having certain rights. Now we'll see the second, that is the legal status of a dead. See, personality means what? Rights and duties. Personality is given to a person when he takes birth. Means personality he gets by birth. Now he dies. His personality should come to an end. Personality commences at birth and ceases with death. Dead persons are no longer persons in the eyes of law. Okay, they are no longer persons in the eyes of law. They are not having any interest. They are not having any duties because they are dead now. The body, the corpse, is not a property. That is not in ancient times it was considered that it is not a thing to be disposed of or to be given or to be transferred. But what we see today in modern legal system, what we see, they allow that to dispose the body and the body parts also. Means a living person, a major person, a sound mind person, what he can do? He can, when he is living, he can donate his body parts. He can donate his whole body. Means now the right has been given to a living person to dispose of his body, or how to dispose of, he can decide. So the modern legal system has changed than the ancient times. Okay. Now Salmond, what Salmond had stated, that though we consider that the personality comes to an end at the time of death, but no, three things continue. Anxieties of living men extend beyond the period of their death. Means after death also he is having certain rights. What right he has? Means a dead person is having certain rights. First right is what? Right to the body, man's body. What right he has? A right of a decent burial or a decent cremation. Means when he is living, he can say that how he should be cremated, and accordingly he will be cremated. Okay, therefore he is having a right of a decent burial. Second is what? Relating to his estate. Means if he makes a will of his property, then his property will be distributed as per his will. His right to property continues. His right to body, his right to corpse continues. Right to reputation. If a dead person is being defamed, then what his legal representatives can do? Legal representatives can file a case against the concerned offender who is defaming their ancestor, and they can get compensation. Those people will be liable. Means defamation of a dead is also, you can say, it is also recognized in law. It is a offense also, it is a tort also. Okay. Now if you see in civil matters, a surety, if he dies, okay, a surety dies, he has given a guarantee for a certain amount of debt and all. Though he dies, his liability will continue. For the previous loan which has been taken by the principal debtor, his liability continues. Means his property will be liable. Means if he dies, what happens? If it is a specific guarantee being given, that guarantee or that liability does not come to an end. Means if a surety dies, his liability does not come to an end. His liability continues and his property will be liable. But if he is giving a continuing guarantee, then for continuing guarantee, his liability for future guarantee, that comes to an end. But for the previous liabilities, he is liable. Though he is dead, he is liable. Means his property will be liable. Okay. Today we have seen the legal status of unborn and the legal status of dead. We have to see the legal status of animals and the legal status of a minor and all. That we are going to see in the next video. Okay. Bye bye. See you.